Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021, the album, Dad, AF. Rock on! See, I'm a rock star. Gold Dust Woman! Boost! Hi, how are you guys doing today? Happy Thursday. Okay, let's get into this video. Today I'm going to talk about Gabby Hanna. I have to be at my mother-in-law's house in exactly an hour and a half for a little birthday cake for my husband, whose birthday was on Monday. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to go over my mother-in-law. She is making dinner for us tonight. I'm really, really excited about that. I'm getting to see my brother and sister-in-law and my nephew. So it's going to be a really fun little family night. So anyway, before I do, I thought that I would make a little video to discuss Gabby Hanna's comeback through this series that she has now started and put out. And, well, she's put out the first part and a preview to it. And the fact that I'm confused in this video if she is announcing that she is leaving the internet and leaving YouTube after the series is out. As well as the fact that Gabby Hanna, yes, Gabby Hanna has started an OnlyFans. So, all right, let's get into this. Now, let me tell you how this all started for me, okay? So I got up today and I was like on the internet and I saw that all these people were starting, or I saw that all these people were talking about the fact that Gabby Hanna had started an OnlyFans. And I was like, Gabby Hanna started an OnlyFans? Now, I had said something about a month ago in a video. I had said, I bet you anything Gabby Hanna's getting ready to start an OnlyFans, okay? Because she was putting a lot of these pictures out of her, like where she was like half naked, and she was talking about how she was sunbathing naked a lot and whatever, and so I just thought, well, the next rational step would be to start an OnlyFans, okay? Now, y'all know I have no issues with anybody's OnlyFans. I just think it's interesting, okay? And I think the timing is very, very interesting because if you look at this, Gabby Hanna has now for like the last 6 months stirred up all of this crazy drama, okay? Which people were speculating was to get her attention on this song, okay? No, what she was doing was stirring up this drama to get feedback from people so she could use people's feedback on the internet to make it the main source theme of this series. That was what the entire thing was about, okay? Just so you're clear about that, okay? The whole theme of this series is that everybody has done Gabby Hanna wrong except for her ex-boyfriend, of which apparently they are no longer together. Everybody in the world has done Gabby Hanna wrong, especially everybody on the internet. They've all bullied her and talked horribly about her, and now this is her time to tell her side of her story again. I guess, because I feel like I've heard Gabby Hanna's side of her story many times, okay? So, Gabby Hanna has been doing all these high dramatics, tweeting, Instagramming, TikToking videos, Instagram stories, TikToks, Twitter, Instagram stories, TikTok. All of this, okay, has just been to get material for this series so that she can come out and talk about it. Wait, okay? Wait a second, because then she posts her preview, and then she comes out and says that she has started an OnlyFans, and you can swipe up. She put this on her Instagram, that she started an OnlyFans, okay? So, I'm confused. Is this about making money, or is this about having your side of the story told? Now, y'all know, like I just said, I have no issues with anybody starting your OnlyFans, okay? Go get your coin, do that, all right? In fact, if y'all want me to go and pay the $25, yes, I said $25, okay? $25 on OnlyFans, I think is as high as you can go. I think it's like the highest, the mark that, I could be wrong, but I mean, that's really high, okay? When you look over there at how much people like charge per month on OnlyFans, okay? I mean, some people are down there giving it away for free, okay? I don't know. Gabby Hanna, she ain't free. She's $25.99 a month. Now, I did cover Breland over Glitter Forever, whatever her name was, Poosows and Boobaliciouses, and I went and I bought her OnlyFans, and I did let you guys know what was on that. So if you would like me to go and do the same thing with Gabby Hanna, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than willing to do that. She only has 3 posts over there right now. I'm sure it's probably naked rock star music or something like that. But if you all would like me to go over there and look at her OnlyFans and let you guys know what's in it, I'm more than willing to do that. I will be completely fair about this whole thing to Gabby Hanna, okay? Gabby Hanna, I think she probably got the idea from that girl that's in the vlog squad that David Dobrik just talked about, that she made $1 million in one night. Gabbie Hanna, apparently, I guess she thinks she gonna make $1 million in one night too. Okay, Gabbie, I hope you do. I hope you make $10 million in one night on OnlyFans doing naked rock star music, or I don't know, wine and canvas. Okay, naked wine and canvas, something. I hope you do. I hope that your dreams come true over there on the OnlyFans. But anyway, I just think that the time is awfully speculative, okay? You put this preview out, then you put out the OnlyFans, and then she's constantly in these videos, like already, if you go watch the preview, she's already talking about my fans, my followers, my fans, my followers. It's like, I don't know who Gabbie Hanna thinks she is. Like, I sometimes think that Gabbie Hanna thinks she's like Beyonce or something. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And that she's gonna like walk into a stadium. She says in this thing she doesn't care about being famous. It's shake and bake and I helped. She says she doesn't care about being famous, which I think is a complete lie, okay? Like, just be honest about wanting to be famous, because it's so obvious that you want attention, validation, acceptance from others, and you want fame. I mean, and obviously money. So let's just be honest about what your goals are, and we'll be honest about what our goals are, okay? Because she told us what our goals are in the video if you watched it. So we'll get to that in just a second. But, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, so this is going to be this series, which, by the way, she put a clip in there talking about people that have like come for her and shared their side of stories. Now she just wants to share her side story. What did she do in there? She put Jessie Smiles' video clip. And I said in previous videos, if she feeds this out, okay, without coming out and making an apology, and quite frankly, based on that phone call, I don't really care what Gabbie Hanna has to say. I don't care if Gabbie Hanna says the phone rang off the hook and Curtis kept on calling me. I don't care what the situation was at the party. I don't care how that conversation occurred. The reality to me is that the conversation occurred, okay? If you listened to the part, or you saw the video where Jessie said, I didn't know that he told you about that night, and she almost starts crying, that is such an invasion of privacy. Hold on a second, okay? While Gabbie is going on in her video talking about lifting women up and not coming for women and whatever, and yet the one woman that was asking her to be on her side, she's over there having a conversation with this whole other situation. So I don't know that Gabbie really gets that, but I said in my previous videos, I said if she feeds this out, this is her using, this is not her telling her side of the story, okay? What happened to Jessie Smiles that is hers, okay? That is not anybody else's to talk about or speculate in the way that I was there and let me tell you the story, whatever. That's not Gabbie's. Gabbie is not in that, okay? That's Jessie's. And now, Gabbie Hanna, who has come out and said that people continue, hold on a second, okay? She says in here, let me get into my notes, my receipts, Whitney. She says in the video that she wants to tell her truth because the goal for other people has always been to discredit and isolate her so that they could continue to exploit and profit off of her. What is Gabbie Hanna doing by putting this clip of Jessie Smiles in there? Jessie Smiles' trauma, talking and addressing Jessie Smiles' trauma, and on there, what is she doing? And feeding it out. It's not like the first video. She just put a screenshot of it so everybody will be like, oh, Gabbie is going to talk about the Jessie Smiles thing. This is exactly what I said that she would do. This is why I say that Gabbie Hanna is manipulative, okay? And hurtful, and cruel, and mean. The same thing she calls other people in there. She's doing it to Jessie Smiles. And I just, honestly, it's so hurtful. I don't know why your truth is so important at the expense of the pain of somebody else. I really don't understand it, Gabbie. I know that Gabbie has this need. This is the thing that I don't get, okay? Gabbie Hanna lives in this world where everything like makes sense to her, like the TikToks and the tweets and the Instagram stories and her putting out this series and her feeding it out and all this kind of stuff. It all makes sense to her, right? But like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you're watching it. Like, when you're watching it all go down, I don't know about y'all, but like when I'm sitting there and I'm watching these videos, I was very confused, okay? I thought it came across as a very empowered Gabbie Hanna, a Gabbie Hanna that wants to tell her side of the story, even though I feel like she's told it 1,000 times before. And I'm like, are you just gonna, she put the preview out yesterday, and then today, she put a video out about the rice gum drama. So I think that what she's gonna do is go in there, and each episode is gonna be, well, the first half of the first episode about rice gum is her just complaining about YouTube bullies and everybody coming for Khloe Kardashian, and Khloe Kardashian's a person too. And it's like, okay, you know what? I love the Chris Crocker, Britney Spears video, but I think Gabby watched it one too many times. She goes in and talks about Selena Gomez and all these other people and on and on and on and on and on, okay? And kind of like, I don't know. I'm so confused by this. And she's just like, I'm going to tell my story. Are you telling your side of the story? Or are you like being an activist against YouTube bullies? Or what are you doing? You know, and I'm such a believer that I think, for me personally, peace of mind and serenity is more important than always having somebody know my side of the story, right? Like, those people that know me and love me, like, and I'm not talking about people that watch my videos. I'm talking about my closest friends and family, the people that matter, the people that it matters to me whether or not they know the truth. Like, they've always known the truth about things. You don't need to always prove to, who is this need to prove things to, you know? Like, I'm just very, very confused about it. And it was interesting because I read a couple comments. Now, it seems to me, the preview video, she has not disabled the like to dislike ratio. On the second video, she has disabled the like to dislike ratio. The comments, there are some negative comments on there, but they are so glowingly positive. And if you go to the video, it has like 9.9 thousand likes and 2.7 thousand dislikes. So the fact that you can't find that many liked negative comments on her video or critical comments on her video means to me that Gabby is going in there and she is heavily editing her comment sections. And if that's the case, that's how it appears. If that's the case, you're telling your truth, but then you're telling your watchers, your followers, your fans, that they aren't allowed their truth, okay? So you're going to have the last word on this. And this is where Gabbie Hanna said something about, hold on a second, let me get into my notes again. She said in here, my pride and ego would never let me walk away, so internet, you won. But before I officially cancel the Gabby show, I want to tell my side of the story. And I'm like, okay, is she canceling this? Like, after this video series is done, is she walking away from the internet? I mean, is she not going to post videos anymore? Is she not going to pursue her music? I mean, I'm so confused. And this just, like, this is where, I don't know, it's like, I think, like, her need to tell her truth is really going to be her end downfall, because it's like, I've said this in a lot of my Peterisms video, if you watch my Peterisms channel, right? Like, one of the things that I really realized in the last couple years is that when you're pointing the finger at somebody else, okay? Like, when you're constantly like, if you knew what this person did to me, okay? If you knew what this person and this person did, if you knew the receipts behind the scenes, like the part in the preview where she talks in there and she says that she has kept receipts on people for years and years and years because she's realized that they'll end up screwing you in the long run. Why do you have those people as friends then? Like, that's sad to me, right? Why would you have people in your life that you feel like you can't trust, that you're keeping every message, every DM, that is such a sad way to live, where you don't trust anybody. And honestly, Gabby, that's on you, not on them, okay? I'm sure Gabby has kept receipts on people that haven't proved to her that they are going to use them against her later, you know? So the whole thing is just so sad to me, this whole way that she lives her life. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm like, so she's going to come out and tell her side of the story and she's going to leave, right? And like I was saying that, you know, this whole idea of needing to tell on somebody, let me tell you what this person did to me. I left this a long time ago, okay? I'm not saying that I'm never going to defend myself, because I think there comes a point when you have to defend yourself sometimes, right? But this constant need that Gabby has to tell on somebody and show the world that I was right and they were wrong and they did me wrong, the whole time that, you know, like the old saying that when you point a finger at somebody, there's three fingers pointing back at you. Well, the reality is that you pointing your finger at somebody else, all that time and energy you are focused on proving to the world who this person really is, that probably won't even be in your peripheral vision 5 years from now. You've spent all that time and energy that you could have been focusing on yourself. And Gabby, had you instead focused the last 2 years on yourself and bettering yourself as a human being and just making yourself happier and working on yourself and your artwork and your music, instead of this constant need to prove to everybody that you were right, if you had done that, at the long run, what are you going to have? Okay, if this comes out and everybody in the world sides with you and says, oh my God, I never saw it this way, Gabby Hanna is right. Okay, so then you're going to be like, aha, vindication, okay? So you have vindication over here that you were right. But life's going to go on for all these people. They're going to move on. The watchers are going to move on. The fans, the followers, as you refer to them, they're going to continue to go on. And you're stuck over here with this, aha, I was right. And what does that vindication get you? Not much. It really doesn't. This need to be right, where in my life, I would rather be happy than right, okay? But you could have been spending all this time over here working on yourself and working on what makes you happy and working on being the best version of yourself. But instead, you focused on being right, okay? So now you're right, and I hope it gives you the vindication that you need. I hope it brings all the happiness in the world, because to me, at my 48 years, almost 49, I'll be 49 next Tuesday, in my almost 49 years on this earth, what I have learned is to be right does not bring the same kind of happiness as it does to be happy, okay? To be, happiness brings happiness. It doesn't bring the same kind of peace of mind and serenity, right? I'd rather work on myself today than prove to the world. If I wanted to get on video and do videos and say this happened to me and that happened to me and blah, 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 and you don't know the truth and here I have receipts to prove it, trust me, I could do that too. There's not many YouTubers out there that couldn't. But what's the need? What's the point? And quite frankly, it speaks more to you than it does to anybody else. So Gabby Hanna, she, puts this video series out. We're now on episode 1. I don't know how often. She's getting a good amount of views on them. The one from yesterday is 191,000 views or something like that. Interestingly enough, I noticed that there are some drama channels that have made videos about Gabby Hanna in the last 24 hours. I think like Smoky Glow is one of them. Well, she's not a drama channel really, but Smoky Glow has more views than Gabby does. So of course now it's going to be the Gabby Hanna shadow banned, and we're using her name for profit. It was interesting because somebody said to me yesterday, hold on a second, let me see if I can find this comment. Somebody said to me yesterday in a comment on my video, where is it? Hold on a second. They said, your whole career is based off judging others. But they say when you point a finger, 3 point back at you. Well, since I just talked about that, I think it's kind of funny. My career is not to get on video and judge other people. My career is a commentary channel. Okay, my career is much like a rundown version of The View or ETV or The Inquirer. That's kind of my career. My career isn't just to judge people. My career is to have, if you want to call it a career, I call it, I'm just a dude with a camera. But if you want to call it that, my career is making videos, doing commentary on YouTubers, and then I allow my comment section to stay open so that you guys can have your say as well. That's my career. But I'm just a dude with a camera. So anyway, but I thought that was interesting. And I think it's kind of like at some point, like, do what you love, right? Like, why is she not doing what she loves? Then, of course, Gabby Hanna comes out and she posts, just a reminder that I could F both your parents and the one person you loved the most, but she's not to. Have an amazing day. And she put 2 more like naked pictures of herself. This is her, and she linked her OnlyFans to that. So you can go get her OnlyFans, she's saying. Now let me read you my favorite comments off of this thread, okay? You and my dad would actually get along great. Haven't seen him in 7 years and every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie. So yeah, you two would be besties. Someone said, no you can't, my parents are both dead. So good luck with that one. And I'm just reading these comments straight off the Twitter, okay? Someone continues and she says, they are literally in an urn on my bookshelf, bro, unless you want to scissor some ashes. They're so bad. Every one of these comments, you guys. And someone said, do you honestly think that will stop her? And this person responds and says, honestly, I wouldn't put anything past her. She is the kind of okay. Someone said, the one person who I love most is my dog. So what are you trying to say? No, she has an OnlyFans now. She is becoming Trisha. And someone said, don't you dare compare her to Trisha. Someone said, I don't want to trigger you because we know how you get when you aren't people's type, but you aren't my parents' type. Someone said, I asked my boyfriend. He's not interested one bit. Thanks for thinking of him, though. Please don't F my parents. They're happily married. Oh, one of Gabby's 12-year-old fans. That's so sweet. So anyway, Gabby Hanna, here she is again. She said that she did all this stuff. Oh, this was the other thing is she titled the video June 15th. And then she goes in there to say that she had taken a social media break since April or May. Girl, why don't you go in there and start your 12-part series on a lie? I mean to tell you, I was like, I better go in here and check this anyway. Because I was like, if I do not check this, and hold on a second. If I don't check this, and that's not what happens, and people are going to be like, that is not what she said. She didn't say that. Leave Gabby alone. June 15th, 2021. There it is. She comes there. She's sitting there. She put all kinds of screenshots in. But she said she left the internet, the social media April, May. She left social media for about 2 weeks. She did do that for a couple, I don't know, maybe it was 3 weeks, something like that. And then she came back full force, didn't she? Now, some comments that I wanted to address from her video. Now, I will tell you, I watched the entire preview and I've watched half of the second episode up to where she starts talking about rice gum. I am going to watch that, and then I will come back and I will do commentary on the rice gum part in whatever video she puts up next. Hell, I watched that horrible Shane Dawson Jeffree Star series. I can watch Gabby Hanna series, and I said that I would. Don't come for me. I said if I had to cover it in a drama video, I would watch it. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things she said in there. One of the things she said, the goal, basically, for other people has always been to discredit and isolate her so that they could continue to profit and to exploit her and profit off her. I don't know who she thinks she's talking about in this video. I mean, Gabby thinks the entire world is out to get her. Like, I mean, it's really kind of like when you watch this video, it's like, girl, you really think the whole world is out to get you? And what's really sad about this is that there were so many people, like when I tweeted out something about Gabby, that commented in my comment section. I mean, many people that were like, I used to be a Gabby fan, but I'm not here for this. Like, I was here for the music and the story times, but I'm not here for this, right? And I don't know, it's just really, really sad that her need to constantly tell her side of the story. And she said at the end of it, she goes, I know that this is going to have other people telling their sides of the stories. I know that there's going to be other things that come out about this, but I'm just like, I have to do this. Okay, she's so compelled to tell her story, her truth, right? Even though she's done it 1,000 times before. She said her feeling was, if you can't beat them, join them. If you want the drama, then I'll be the drama. No, Gabby, what we wanted was sincere apologies from you, taking accountability, owning up to your part in the situation, okay? I'm not saying that in every situation there isn't somebody that has a part in it. I truly believe that. I think in any situation with two people, there's always that person has some part in it, right? Just own your part. You know, clean your side of the street, Gabby. That's all anybody's asking for. Oh, and to make an apology to Jessie Smiles, who you've now chosen to use her trauma to feed out your video series, okay? So all that happened was that Jessie Smiles, just like Shane Dawson using the drama with James Charles in his video and everything that happened, Gabby Hanna has now used that as an advertisement for her video series. If I was Jessie Smiles, I would be livid. I just can't even believe that Gabby actually did that. I mean, I just cannot. She also says that I didn't want to let them win. I'm a fighter. I've been fighting my whole life. There are so many people out there that are fighting on a daily basis. There are people out there that are fighting for their lives as we speak. There are people out there that are, you know, working 2 and 3 jobs, hard jobs, trying to raise their kids, trying to put a roof over their head, trying to put food on the table for their kids, you know, doing homework with them, staying up late at night, getting 2 and 3 hours of sleep. You know, there are so many people out there that are overworked and underpaid because they need a job, because they have to pay their bills. There are so many people that have gone through trauma out there that it breaks my heart even to hear their stories, you know? There are so many of us out there that have shared experiences of trauma, you know? I myself have gone through much trauma in my life, and yet I don't sit there and need to constantly talk about how I'm a fighter and I've been fighting all my life. There becomes a point when that doesn't become a sign of empowerment, right? And I think the thing is that Gabby doesn't understand, like somebody was talking about her as an advocate for certain communities, that maybe she's not the advocate. Like that was one of the comments underneath the video. And I was thinking about that and I was like, you know, it's really about turning your wounds into wisdom. It's really about taking your experience in life and turning it into a teaching moment. Gabby Hanna has a huge platform of which she could be taking what she's doing in her life and what she's going through. And she does talk about the ADHD, and she does talk about she briefly talks about it, okay? And getting on medication. Which, you know, I think it's interesting that she's not talking about living with ADHD. She's not talking about, you know, like how that whole situation happened where she went to the diagnosis and had that went to the doctor and had that conversation about her diagnosis. She just throws it out there, right? So it's not teaching about that unless she's going to do a later episode about that. And I hope she does. I really hope she does, because I think that that will be an educational piece to her audience. But, you know, the thing is that this is a moment where maybe, Gabby, of all of the fights that you've gone through in your life, of everything that's been tough in your life, everything that you've been doing, you know, like imagine this for a second. Okay, Gabby goes on and on and on about people saying things about her nose, right? And, you know, I understand that comment when I see it. I mean, I know that Gabby, I think, has received a lot of negativity and hate, and I think that's cruel. I think that's crap. I think that's BS. I think any kind of criticism or making fun of somebody on their physical appearance is cruel. I don't understand that, right? But when I look at Gabby Hanna, I see a beautiful young lady, right? Instead, do a whole video series about all of the fights that you've had in your life, right? She talks in there about hustling on Vine and really hustling hard to make her dreams come true. That could be a whole video series, episode, right? Talk about how all these people have made fun of her physical appearance, and that for her, it's representative of her heritage. She could do a whole video series about that, or insecurities related to body image. She could do a whole thing on the ADHD. She could do a whole thing on her journey of how she got to where she's at today. Her fear is nobody would watch that series. So what does she do? She comes out yet again and addresses the drama because she thinks that that's what people want to talk about. This to me is not about Gabby Hanna needing to hear her or having her side of the story be heard. Quite frankly, Gabby Hanna is not a stupid person. She knows we've heard her side of the story. She knows we've heard her side of the story many, many times, okay? This is Gabby Hanna trying to be relevant again because she said she wants to go out on a high note, so she's going to do this, and then she's going to say, I'm not posting any more videos, and I'm just going to post music over on my Gabby Hanna music thing and do my podcast, maybe. She hasn't really been given that any attention lately. And then that's what I'm going to do. It's just I'm going to focus on my music going out, and I'm done. I'm done with the Gabby show. But I'm done with this channel. Peace out. And that's going to be her leaving on a good note, is how she's going to end this whole series, right? Imagine what a series you could have done, Gabby, for all of those people that got you where you're at, for all those people that have been undying fans of your story times and your music, for all those people that have been there for the fight that you have been fighting, for all those people that have helped you get to the dream that you were dreaming. Imagine doing a series where you sat down and really, genuinely and authentically talked about the fight that you have had in your life and all of the troubles and the hardships that you've had to get you where you're at today. And now that you're sitting on the floor in front of this ginormous, probably $2,000 mirror, sitting on the floor talking to your people in this gorgeous home, okay, that is all these fights have gotten you there, what's that journey been like? Because I think that would be relatable. I think that would be cool. That would be a series that I would be down for. I will watch this series because obviously I'm going to talk about it in my videos, okay? But am I interested in hearing old drudged up drama brought up again where people are like, ooh, Trisha Paytas lied to Gabby Hanna? Who cares? Nobody cares, quite frankly, at the end of the day. Hell, we can't even, most of us drama channels can't even hardly pull views on videos about that stuff. Don't nobody care. They really don't, okay? But imagine a video being so relatable, talking about all of these things that you've gone through, the recent breakup of your boyfriend, and how, instead of breaking up on a bad note, you guys chose to stay friends. What an amazing lesson that would be to people. What courage that would show, what vulnerability that would show to really open people up and share with them instead of screaming on camera about all of the bullies on the internet that you will never change. You won't. They're there, and they're cruel, and they're mean, and they're not going anywhere. But imagine the power that you could have had by showing your truth and sharing that with the world. It was a missed opportunity. It was an absolutely missed opportunity. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.